everyone, and welcome back to Control, where this episode we will be starting the second DLC for Control, AWE. However, something was left unfinished from the Foundation DLC, which was Pope's Collection. Now, this mission had no objectives, it was kind of bugged. It wouldn't complete, even though we'd picked up 5 ID cards. But there was one of those ID cards where I was like, I'm pretty sure we'd picked this one up before. And that was true. Reviewed the footage and I was like, we picked up 5. And I think that was the problem. Something that I realized is the cards actually respawn. And it doesn't allow you to complete the quest correctly. So I've found the correct 5 now. There was a missing 5th one where we had to go across this wall with crystal pillars that we made, and then we jump into a hole in here, and it's sitting in there along with another memo file. So we actually have the 5 ID cards now. We can proceed with Pope's Collection. So we're going to get this little tidbit out of the way, and then we will be doing the Dark Place mission for the Alan Wake DLC. So let's read the case file that I picked up, and then there's a hotline message that we regrettably missed last episode as well. So we'll read that too. So, Media Hill Summary. Note, per archival mandates 8.A, this document has been edited to meet current administrative standards. Certain terminology may be out of date. The event summary. This paradimensional occurrence consisted of 3 sequential sinkholes induced by subterranean implosions revealing foreign material of magmatic qualities. A local chapter of the Youth Science League were participating in an archaeological dig on the hill when this event occurred. Many boys were injured in the resulting collapse. Some touched the magma directly. Bureau agents arrived at the scene 7 days after the incident. Samples of the lava-like material were taken. The area was quickly sealed off from the public at our recommendation. Our aim was to ensure all remnants of the material were rendered inoffensive, but the magma descended too deeply into the earth to retrieve. Foul-smelling odors were detected in the area, which were hypothesized being the dissipated elements of vapor trail left at the scene. All acquired material was delivered to Washington for examination in the Bureau's on-site laboratories. So there was a summary of Meteor Hill. And then we've got a hotline which was called Departure from the board. So let me take a listen to that. See what they had to say. Another workday completed. Tell the sidekick, Pope Snoop, to leave immediately. Wow. The next task, chapter, stage. Jesse / Dylan Faden, dude. Okay. Jesse / Dylan Faden. Interesting. Cool. So, I love that it's called Departure as well, because they're talking about the next chapter. And the name of the book that Alan Wake was writing in his game, which is he's still kind of stuck doing, is called Departure, and now he's writing his next book, which I guess is like the sequel. But the whole story of Alan Wake is essentially Alan Wake's book titled Departure, and they're like, we'll see you in the next chapter. Cheeky little reference there that I now get. I understand.
One of the cards was for an excavation engineer. I wonder which console was theirs.
So we have to put the ID cards in each of these terminals to get this elevator to work, and I guess we just need to look at their desk to identify what type of person they are. Let's take a look. So there's a first aid cabinet there. I'm gonna say
physicist would probably have instruments or something for physics.
Yeah, I would say this would be the physicist, Dr. Gustave Frenzel, because reasons. Alright, so it's in there. This one, there's weapons here. So this is going to be our security chief, Hank Wilder. This is going to be our cartographer, because there's like a map. This will be our excavator boy. And then head of research right at the end here.
It worked. Now I just have to get on a rickety elevator that goes who knows how far down.
Now we go to the basement. Basement lab. Let's take a peek, shall we? A little piece of unresolved content from the first DLC.
Tinier than any of Darling's.
We got Hiss down here. We no longer have Hiss down here. It's a very clean looking lab. What does this do? Okay. Turn the valve. What did that do anything? Like, this combat music is actually kind of terrible.
Why would they need such a heavy door down here?
It's just diddle 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 diddle. Stop. Oh, there we go. Processors Designer Gibbs. Oh, Jesus. What the hell is that? I could use you. You're mine now. Dude, this laser thing absolutely melts me. Holy shit. Oh, and it goes through things. Fuck me. God damn. Alright, so we're looking for Dr. Ash's notes.
This looks like the nail, only mini.
Oh.
A document. Is this in some kind of code? I can't read a word of it. I should take this back to Emily and tell her I got into Ash's secret lab.
Nice. Okay. I'm glad I decided to double check on this side mission, because I was like, it's weird that it can't be completed. Like, it's just like weirdly buggy. So gave it a second look and it paid off. So correspondence: Northmore, final warning from the desk of Director Northmore to Dr. Theodore Ash Jr. As Director of the Federal Bureau of Control and chosen representative / liaison / benefactor of the greater authority of the board, I demand your immediate withdrawal from the Foundation. Prior memos issued broadly to Foundation staff called for swift reassignment of all personnel to the upper levels of the House. All staff complied except you. This demonstrates a lack of respect for my office and the board itself. This is their house and we are their guests. We should conduct ourselves accordingly. Normally, such insubordination would be grounds for dismissal, but out of respect for your late father, consider this instead my final warning. The board and Director Ash chose me as successor to the office, and no amount of petulance will change that. Indeed, your actions seem to suggest you know better than myself, and by extension, better than the board. Permit me to assure you that this is not possible. Sincerely, Director Broderick Northmore. Final warning. There you go. Alright, we'll head back to Pope. who the board has told us to ditch. Is like, get her out of here. We don't want her anywhere nearby before the next chapter. Very interesting. Alright, so we'll run on back to Emily. And then we can do the dark place. And see what the board are talking about. I'm so excited to see how it's going to tie in. Like, it's very exciting. Because I don't know, dude. I don't know what's going to happen. And it's exciting. I can't wait. Still can't upgrade Pierce yet. Because we need to get some other stuff. Yeah, we need stuff to make stuff happen, so we'll leave that. I believe yep, Emily's still at the crossroads, so that's all good. We'll talk to her at the crossroads. Yeah, genuinely really keen to see how this is going to tie in. Like, we played a whole game and its DLC to understand this DLC for Control. So I'm excited for the payoff. Hello, Emily.
I found Ash's secret lab. Excellent. Please tell me everything. Spare no details.
Well, there was another cave. The walls were covered in paintings of eyeballs. The research seemed dedicated to studying a kinda smaller version of the nail. It looked like the same material as the one up here, but just a different shape.
Well, are you sure you didn't see any functioning prototypes? Or at least some schematics? I mean, Dr. Ash was a very accomplished engineer.
None. Sorry. I did find this handwritten note.
Wow. Ash had terrible handwriting. Never meet your heroes, right? So it looks like a transcribed conversation between Ash and someone named F. Ooh. Oh, this is juicy. This'll take me days to parse out. Maybe weeks.
Have you ever thought about taking a vacation, Emily?
Are you kidding? This is my vacation, Jesse.
Cool. Mission completed. Pope's collection. We got some ability points. Good stuff. She's still got a red triangle, so let's chat to her.
Crystals, cave paintings. This place is a...
Nope.
I'm gonna keep...
Okay. Sometimes just a red triangle appears and there's not much reason for it, but that's okay. Abilities. We're just doing C speed now. We're finally bumping that up. As much as I do want to also upgrade my levitation and also probably like my shield stuff. Maybe I'll do shield rush. We don't really use the shield much either, and we probably should, considering it would change us, you know. It would save us a lot of unnecessary death. Just like there's so many options, which I really like. There's an insane amount of options in the combat, which I really like. You can choose to do, you know, all your scenarios with a lot of freedom and a lot of versatility in comparison to aim torch, shoot gun, you know. Now we have to investigate the sector elevator. How crazy is it that they were just like, let's just put the best costume in the game in like a mirror dimension battle.
Director.
Pretty sick.
Darkness engulfed the elevator. There was something there, reaching for her, trying to make her act. It was a distress call. Phaeton sensed a drowning man, a hunger in the dark.
Oh, fucking cool, dude.
Investigation sector, huh?
Dude, okay. You're not going to question who that is on the hotline, Jesse? You're not going to be like, oh, who the fuck's this guy? Where did he come from? Alan Wake's writing a little side story, dude. Oh, I was not expecting him on the hotline. That makes so much sense, though, with the Alan Wake Remastered that we played, how it has 3 visions, and they're shot exactly like that, which is really cool, of just like having him in the typewriter. So the visions were added in the remastered version, which was pretty cool. And I think out of context, had no idea what those are about, but I should probably rewatch those now with the context of the full game, because if they were added for the remastered version, it might be drumming up hype for the sequel, which is really cool. So I should check that out. But Wake, we have Faden rides the elevator. That was just like, oh, there it is. It's not even subtle. It's just Alan Wake talks to Jesse Faden.
Darkness engulfed the elevator. There was something there. A presence. Jesse Faden could hear it. A call. It was faint, reaching for her from a dark place. Faden was sensitive to visitations. She had them all the time. From her guiding star and the previous director. She was the perfect receiver. As if she'd been made for this. Faden paused to feel it. The force at play here. It was changing things around her, subtle, trying to make her act. Faden didn't like that. Her guide felt it too. Polaris didn't flare up in defense as with the hiss. So it wasn't all bad. Not a hostile transmission. It was powerful, but it was coming from far away. And made weak because of the distance. It was a distress call. Faden sensed a drowning man. A man desperate to escape. She sensed something else, too. A hunger in the dark. Not unlike the hostile resonance. Waiting. She knew that desperate acts can have grim consequences. It was this, more than the man's despair, that made her follow the call. The elevator lights winked back on. The darkness receded like a memory. There was a new button on the elevator control panel. Investigation Sector. Faden pressed the button. The elevator doors slid shut with practiced bravado.
Dude, I am only a new fan of Control, and I've only just played Alan Wake, and so have recently just like entering the Remedy-verse, if you will, and even I am just like so hyped about this crossover. Like, I could only imagine, like, for those of you that are fans of the original Alan Wake that played it when it first came out, to then be playing Control and to get smacked with like this DLC that's just fucking Alan Wake sitting on his typewriter typing a Control story out. And it makes me wonder, I don't know if we're thinking too deeply about this or whether it's just supposed to be like a bit of fun, but from a storyline perspective, how much of the universe and the world of Control already existed, or is it written by Alan Wake? I don't know. Like, dude, I don't know. Like, there's so many layers to it, because you go, how does Alan Wake know about this stuff? Did he create this? Is Control another series of novels from our illustrious author? Like, because he's written the FBC do go to Bright Falls because of the whole thing, and it's so interesting, because it can just be as simple as, all this stuff existed, but through temporal shenanigans, Alan Wake had these visions that came to him, and he just started writing a little side story about Control and Jesse Faden. Or this game is like, it's the Alan Wake universe, this cinematic universe, and he's creating all of these games, and like, he probably even wrote Quantum Break. Like, it's very interesting when you think about it on that level of anything, any story, any words that are written on that typewriter, wherever the hell Alan Wake is now, trapped in the darkness of Cauldron Lake, becomes real, writes whatever he wants. We thought about in Alan Wake when he was like, did Thomas Zane create or write Alan Wake into existence back in the day by giving him the clicker and setting up this, father figure that doesn't even exist, written through supernatural typewriter? Or did Alan Wake write himself that father figure, essentially Alan Wake writing himself into existence? Like, there's layers to the thing that I don't have answers for, and it's very interesting, because it feels like any of those could be correct. Like, any of those things could, like, that's the good thing about art, is it's open for interpretation, especially when there's stuff that's surrounded by a lot of mystery and ambiguity, is you're like, what the fuck is going on? And you try and find your own meanings, or like piece it together as much as you can. I really enjoy doing that. That's why I like to voice this stuff. But getting hotline calls from Alan Wake and he's writing Jesse's story means that Jesse is now obligated to obey the words of the typewriter. Like, our story has now been written. There's no free will here. Alan Wake is writing this story. Whether he created this whole thing in general, or whether, like, or whether he's just had a vision. Because now, like, when you go to the motel and you know that the Alan Wake universe is behind the spiral door and Control is the one with the pyramid, and it's like, is there one of those that's Quantum Break? Is there other, like, games that Remedy hasn't even done yet that could play into this expanded universe? All stemming from the fingertips of Alan Wake's typewriter. Who knows? Alan Wake 2 will definitely hold more answers. But let's go through the elevator. That's my ramble. We can finally take it to a new sector, the Investigations sector. A new button has appeared on the elevator. Let's have a look. This is genuinely super exciting. Alright, the Investigations sector. Okay. Just... And it's so funny because obviously the voice of Alan Wake is also the voice of Dr. Casper Darling, so it's very similar and identifiable now. Now that I'm very used to it. Jesse Faden walked down the hallway.
Hello? Anyone here? Guess not.
Jesse Faden walked down the stairs in the Investigation sector. It was dark, cold, empty.
Seems a lot more crowded than the rest of the bureau.
Ooh, we've got case files and shit. We're going to pick up a bunch of stuff and then we'll read through it together.
It's not working. Probably a loose power core somewhere.
Yeah, there's a lot of notes. Alright. Darling investigation. So, and this would have been new research and records created for the DLC. So I'm very interested in how this is going to sound and what information is going to be on this stuff. There's a lot. Alright, we've got a power core that we've got to put in there. Oh, there's another one under there. Ethics investigation. Nope, there's one. They fucking tucked away everywhere. There's so much here. Alright, we can check up here. There's even more. It's gonna be reading time with Apocalypse, everybody, because we've got a lot to read on the floor. Director investigation. Nice. Alright, so we're just looking for a loose power core. Or should we just take the one that's plugged in somewhere else? Cauldron Lake update! There it is. I was waiting for something that I could cling onto that I recognize. I guess we'll just take this one out. Nope. Thank you. I don't know what that turns off, but that's fine. And then we chuck it in here.
Now that gate should open.
Okay. Okay, shall we take a read through of everything that we picked up? I think there might be another one here though, so hold on. Yep. Okay, specimen escape assessment. And then there's a control point here. Oh, we're going to the motel, dude. We go into the motel. We got the light switch. Okay, let's take a read through everything that we've just picked up. So, Darling investigation. Now, who did this? So, Tim Spolder, Special Agent. William Kirkland, Head of Investigations. Okay. Per authorization from Mr. Kirkland, internal investigation D-084-5 was launched into the ethical practices of Dr. Casper Darling, Head of Research, despite the accounts of anonymous blank regarding inhumane treatment of a blank currently housed in the Bureau. Our official findings regarding this were inconclusive. Numerous obstacles arose during this investigation. The majority of blank sector personnel seemed to be wholly unaware of any such blank contained there. One blank confirmed the blank's code name to be blank, but all files pertaining to that name were inaccessible, being classified under the highest clearance level. Investigators were similarly blocked from entering the blank research wing to interview its staff. The matter was further complicated by the lack of clarity on whether non-human paranatural entities warrant humane treatment. While this investigation cannot address any charges against Dr. Darling, we do recommend an investigation into blank research. Okay. Director investigation, which was compiled by Redacted. Per authorization from Mr. Kirkland, blank was launched into the blank of Director Zachariah Trench. A recent change in blank witnessed in Director Trench, including aggressive blank when blank with other staff, has been observed. However, this investigation is aimed at interpreting this issue rather than proving it. Notable blank between Director Trench and Dr. Darling has been witnessed by numerous Bureau staff. Although both declined to meet for an interview on the matter, witness accounts suggest their arguments center around the dimensional research wing and the blank kept inside. However, no evidence exists to confirm Director Trench's blank as anything more than interpersonal disagreements. This investigation has concluded that Director Trench's behavior is not indicative of any blank and that his fitness to lead is not in question. Now, we know that the dealings between Darling and Trench is because they both went through the slide projector and they had different experiences. Darling got exposed to Polaris, and Trench got exposed to the hiss. And they're like, what the fuck is going on, you know? So they had different things. Trench was having the ringing in his ears, and Darling's like, I don't know what you're talking about. Okay. Ethics investigation, which is compiled by Patricia Lewis. Per authorization from Mr. Kirkland, internal investigation P-142-9 was launched into the legality of the Prime Candidate Program, blank, by the Federal Bureau of Control. Since all known subjects relevant to the investigation used executive privilege to decline interviews, very little first-hand information was gathered. However, anonymous sources and documentation declassified by Mr. Kirkland both paint an alarmingly clear picture of systematic blank and blank. Blank were brought into the Oldest House and placed under blank examination and testing with the aim of appointing one as director upon maturity. This program has produced no successful cases and only resulted in the traumatic blank of paranaturally inclined blank. Not only is this in breach of the ASH Act, but it flies in the face of basic human blank. This investigation team unequivocally blank the Prime Candidate Program and recommends that it be blank immediately. Interesting. They're like, get rid of this thing. But keep your tabs on P6 and P7. Specimen Escape Assessment. The purpose of Internal Investigation X-039-7 is to examine the containment failure of Specimen SI-1 that resulted in the deaths of blank agents. An inspection report of the containment equipment 3 days earlier showed no faults. Investigators suspect human error to be the cause, yet no department has provided any evidence to support this. Technicians were able to recover the researchers' notes on the specimen from the internal network. On the blank of blank, the specimen began displaying a sharp increase in aggressive blank. Cross-referencing that date with various logs found only 2 events inconsistent with the sector's daily routine. The air filters were changed, and an hour prior to the incident, a civilian named Alice entered the sector regarding an unrelated investigation. Excuse me? Alice Wake? Alice Wake? Given the connection to the same AWE case, it is likely that Mrs. Wake's presence is relevant to the specimen's escape and the blank. Investigation is ongoing. Various logs are inconsistent. The air filters were changed an hour prior. A civilian named Alice. A civilian named Alice. Official findings report, Dr. Raya Underhill is a professor at the University of Woodrow in the United Kingdom, where she teaches biology with a focus on botany. Dr. Underhill once worked with the Bureau as a parabotanist stationed in the research sector of the Oldest House. She served with no incidents or demerits and is praised by those who formerly worked with her, including Dr. Darling. Dr. Underhill has no known connections to paracriminal organizations or any record of breaching her NDA since leaving the Bureau. Her civilian behavior has been ideal, with the exception of an ongoing personal relationship with Dr. Darling that appears to have begun during their time as co-workers in the research sector and revisited intermittently ever since. Depending on the duration of her work in the Oldest House, it may be required to have both parties sign a relationship clearance form. This investigation has found no compelling reason to deny Dr. Darling's request to offer Dr. Underhill an interim position with the aim of finding a solution to the mold threshold issue. Obviously, we know who Dr. Underhill is. She's very rude and entitled, and also in a relationship with Dr. Darling. Agent Lisa Keenum did that one. There you go. Okay, so we've got the research and records done. We've got some case files. We've got 2 of those. Tractor procedures and tractor supplement. Altered items. Okay. These going to be like... Okay, let's have a look. Item is not in Bureau custody. None known. A Frank Elk tractor, olive green, dried blood on the grill when last seen. Item is capable of vocalized responses or growls and unmanned locomotion. Considered highly aggressive and dangerous. The item first came to the Bureau's attention after the death of William Burrow, owner of Burrow Farm outside of Trenton, Texas. Local authorities arrived on scene after an employee found the mutilated body of Mr. Burrow beneath his tractor. Police arrived, but were immediately driven away by the tractor. Panicked calls to federal authorities were intercepted by Bureau communications staff. A team was dispatched. Upon arrival, the agents approached the item. It responded by growling like a bear. 3 agents were injured when they tried to detain the item, which escaped. Aerial searches for the item are ongoing. Speaking to Mrs. Burrow only revealed that she had a domestic altercation with Mr. Burrow earlier the night of the incident. Whether these events are connected is currently unknown. When I first read Tractor, I was wondering if it was going to be one of those like vehicles possessed by the darkness from Alan Wake, but looks like it is not. But there is a supplement. Miscommunication led to a local coroner examining the body of William Burrow. Male, Caucasian, 33-year-old man found dead on his property. Per police report, remains obtained for coroner's office also include blood, urine, bile, stomach contents, and bone fragments. The autopsy findings: blunt force injuries to the head, lacerations to the left ear and the cheek, blunt force injuries, extremities, dislocation of the right knee. Complete avulsion of the right upper extremity with associated fracture of the proximal right humerus. Extensive trauma to the abdominal region, complete avulsion of multiple organs, including stomach, heart, liver, pancreas, kidneys, and portions of the large and small intestine, all missing from the scene. It is my opinion that Mr. Burrow's death is not the result of a mechanical accident, as claimed by authorities. The removal of organs is consistent with an animal attack. There you go. Now we have some unread correspondence. Let's have a read. We've got official and non-official communication. So, Casey inquiry. Possible lead on the Wake case. Mr. Dennis, a request came through recently from an FBI agent asking for all of our files on Bright Falls, specifically on the disappearance of the author Alan Wake. Per the Interagency Information Exchange Agreement, I had some paper pushers gather up a folder of all the pre-approved files. Don't worry, all the inappropriate material is either missing or redacted, but I'm writing to let you know that we received this request from a special agent named Alex Casey. Sounds familiar, right? That's because Alex Casey is the name of the fictional detective in those hard-boiled crime books Alan Wake wrote. Pretty interesting that an FBI agent sharing a name with the most famous character Wake wrote is looking into a case dealing with a writer's fiction coming true. I think this is worth looking into, but what's your opinion? Just give the word and I'll start surveillance on this guy. So, I'm pretty sure as well it has been pointed out that Alex Casey is sort of like the stand-in named character, I believe, for Max Payne, I think. From like Max Payne 1, only Max Payne 1 and 2, because I think Max Payne 3 was developed by Rockstar. Very interesting change of developer there. You have to play those games one day too. Cauldron Lake update. To Chief Investigator Dennis, it happened again, third time this year. Something certainly has it out for our blank. Could be raccoons, the locals certainly complain about them enough, but why the hell would raccoons keep going after a monitoring station? Doesn't add up. Anyway, I've got a bureau tech going to the site next week to take a look. Next on the list of recurring problems is the staff at the Lake House Research Station. How am I supposed to effectively keep an eye on Blank Lake if they won't let me see any data? Hell, I don't even know what they're researching out there. We need to petition them again to share their info with investigations agents. It's only a matter of time before this blank hits again, and I want to be prepared. Anyway, if anyone at HQ asks why the Bright Falls report is a little thin this month, tell them it's because we couldn't take any readings. In the meantime, I might invest in some raccoon traps. Interesting. Missing agents. Mr. Kirkland, here are the latest agents confirmed missing, presumed dead, from the containment breach yesterday. Jonathan Connor, Ezra Cruz, Carolyn Dempsey, Lindsay Malcolm, Charles Murray, and Derek Shah. Letters of condolence will be delivered to you to sign prior to sending them to their families. You will be updated as soon as additional confirmations are made. Also, per your request, a network engineer checked how many cases were backed up digitally. Unfortunately, a large number of active investigations were not archived yet, and the only hard copies of reports exist behind the firebreak. They're lost, I'm afraid. We now have a resignation letter. To whom it may concern, it is with great anger and regret that I tender my resignation as Head of Investigations for the Federal Bureau of Control. I do this in protest of the rampant disregard for my department's blank. My staff cannot continue to work in these conditions. Previous requests and warnings have fallen on deaf ears, so I must now rely on my actions to speak louder than my words ever could. I blame this situation on our blank, who has routinely ignored my request for assistance in reclaiming the parts of the investigations sector lost to the blank loose inside. I will never forget the screams of brave agents begging for us to open that firebreak. I will carry that shame for the rest of my days. The blank has failed his agents. I shall never forgive him for that. Sincerely, William Kirkland. Trench. Official warning. Kirkland, I'm growing tired of your blatant attempts to lay your incompetence at my doorstep. I know you want this to be true, but you are Head of Investigations. This failure is your responsibility. What did you think would happen holding a dangerous specimen in investigations? The containment sector exists for a reason. They are better trained and better equipped for this type of work. In fact, they have admirably taken on certain AWE monitoring responsibilities that your staff are no longer capable of. This happens more and more now. And don't think your petty internal investigations have gone past my notice. You are a worm. Everything I've done has been for the benefit of the Bureau. The Prime Candidate program only failed because of Darling. You are both failures plotting against me. You are traitors, but the truth will emerge out of you. You are choosing to become my enemy, Kirkland. You don't want to be. Jesus. Alright, we've got some non-official correspondence. Keystone inspection. Mr. Kirkland, we stopped at Keystone on our way to the target AWE, like you asked. I'm sending my report directly to you to try and keep a lid on this Grumman-Morales desertion issue. We didn't find any sign of them here. Given their records, it is possible they've switched teams like you suspected, but I don't think that's the case. An event definitely occurred here in Keystone, and I think Grumman and Morales got caught up in it. The entire population has vanished into thin air. Reminds me of the Ordinary case, but that was just the adults if I'm remembering the file correctly. This is different. I think our guys are casualties, not traitors. If it was an AWE, it seems to be over. We walked through the whole town, and the only strange thing we noticed were markings on various buildings. 2 overlapping circles with a dot in the shared space. Could be unrelated. I'll show you the pictures when I get back. In the meantime, you should send a team out here to cordon this place off, and maybe get the comms guy working on a cover story. So a Venn diagram with a dot in the middle. Interesting. Staffing issue. Mr. Dennis, so yes, there's an increase in AWE cases, and yes, it would be a good idea to put together a special task force to examine exactly why that is. However, it seems that a tiny little detail has slipped through the cracks. We don't have the damn staff. If you expect us to detect, investigate, and process more AWE cases, you need to give us more people. It's simple math. Between the staff we lost in the Hartman thing and the ones who left for the other departments after Kirkland quit, we're barely managing to keep up with the workload. Hell, just filing the paperwork for all the altered items we left behind in the sector has been an ordeal. Another thing, and this is going to sound paradoxical, but we have an overcrowding situation. The lobby isn't meant to accommodate a whole sector's worth of staff. We put forward a motion to move investigations to a more suitable location months ago. It better not be sitting on your desk. The people are getting restless, and Kirkland's interim replacement, it's your job to handle it. Deep breaths, there you go. A lot of speaking, a lot of talking through documents. All complete now, and now we can. And now,
detective, but something definitely happened here.
and now we read another one. Breathe. Okay, there you go. Run out of breath when you're talking. That's right. Research records. Blessed organization. This group individual has operated outside the Bureau's notice for decades, perhaps longer, displaying a level of skill and caution rarely seen in para-criminal groups. A review of past cases has found various mentions of their activity over the years. In 2016, a production company called Blessed Pictures was connected to an alternate item case. We only came across this one recently, the film camera, as well as the death of an agent from exposure to illicit paranatural materials. In 1994, a Los Angeles-based public speaker named Chester Bless was involved in the illegal use of an altered item. In 1988, a business called Blessed Repair and Service was suspected of involvement with an object of power case, perhaps even creating it. None of these businesses or individuals have ever been located, however their connection to appearances of altered items, an object of power, is too direct to be considered circumstantial. An arrest order has been issued for any persons to be involved with the Blessed organization. Interesting. So there's a few things that are all under blessed. Let's go to the motel, baby.
Do we know each other? This feels familiar. I can't seem to... I've forgotten it. I'm sorry. My name is Alan Wake. Who are you? Who are you? Do I know you?
I'm your friend Tom. Tom Zane. There's nothing to worry about.
Tom. The poet. The diver. You look different.
That was just a role. A character. The protagonist I played in my old film. I'm a filmmaker. An auteur like yourself. We're working on this together, remember? An artistic collaboration. You need a drink.
Oh, darling in the night springs. Is Kippis Finnish for something? For cheers, probably.
Endless darkness.
Dude, this is fucking hype.
But we're very close now. You've been writing. We found a way to escape. It'll work this time.
Writing?
You found a way!
No. I don't... Wait. There's something. It's my double. He's out there.
Mr. Scratch.
See him.
Yeah. Nothing to worry about. I'm dealing with it. It's fine, my friend. Let me handle him.
You've met him? What the hell?
There's Alan Wake's anger.
You misunderstand me.
Bruh!
That was Alan Wake, the writer who went missing in that AWE case I read about. What's he doing here?
Dude, holy fuck.
Thomas Zane was with him. The poet. No, wait. He was a filmmaker. I always remember that wrong.
Oh my god, that's so cool! What a cool cutscene, like, honestly. The fact that this game, like, this was almost a decade later. Just fans of the original just being spoiled right now. After almost a decade. Traverse the Ocean View Motel. Okay, so we're back in the Ocean View Motel. That was really interesting. So, Thomas Zane talking to Alan Wake, except they look the same. But then there's also a double named Mr. Scratch, which is still a thing. Far out, dude. I know that there's like another short Alan Wake game called Alan Wake's American Nightmare, which I haven't yet played either. So that might be a good idea to check that one out. Also, to really just get that full story. I don't know how integral it is to the plot of Alan Wake in general, but obviously it's going to add something. But fuck, that's just like so exciting. Just seeing them like face off like that. But then I'm like, what if that's Mr. Scratch in there? Because he's literally his like double almost. Oh man. Too much to process right now. Too much to process right now. But the Night Springs TV and Darling was on the TV as well for a brief moment. I gotta see if there's any, you know, check the posters just to see what's up. Are we? Where do you think we are? Are we in Night Springs? Are we in Bright Falls? Are we in Cauldron Lake? Are we underwater? Like, it looks like, you know how like light looks super weird when you're like underwater? Could we be underwater right now? Ooh, the echo of the bell. Okay. Ooh, okay. The door's open. Oh yes, dude. Okay. This is so sick. This has such a good payoff. I'm so glad that we decided to take that Alan Wake intermission, because if I just played this without checking out Alan Wake first and like what that was about, this would have almost no impact on me whatsoever. Like, I'd be playing through this just going like, "Ooh, this is weird. Oh, this thing's cool." You know, like seeing a cutscene happen or being out, like reached out by like Alan Wake and having like this whole thing happen. Oh, my double, all that kind of stuff. Zero impact. I'd just be like, cool, there's that Alan Wake guy. So glad that I decided to play the game before jumping into this. It enhances the experience like 200%. Is it going to play Night Springs? It ain't. That's fine. I guess we'll turn off the radio as well. I want a Night Springs episode for nostalgia. Being nostalgic about a game I just finished last week. I don't know, it's like that's like the cool effect of this like crossover is like I can just put myself in the shoes of people who have been like much like long-term Remedy like fans, and seeing like crossover events are always cool because it's like, especially if you're into like all the different properties. It's like why stuff like Smash Brothers is so immensely successful and popular is people just love crossover shit, man. That's why Into the Spider-Verse is so good. Oh. Loud vending machine. Oh, we're just turning off electronics. What about, does the final door open now? It does. Ooh, God. Is it gonna be the key to the spiral door?
Dr. Emil Hartman. Devoured.
Oh yes, Dr. Emil Hartman. All right. Talk to me, Alan.
Dr. Emil Hartman was desperate.
Why is it playing so fast?
The Federal Bureau of Control.
It's all sped up.
His life's work. This was his last chance, his final experiment. What he'd been too scared to do before.
He go in beast mode
Hartman
on that
dove
typewriter.
into the lake, was taken, devoured by hungry darkness, became the thing that had been Hartman.
The thing that had
Only
been
an echo
Hartman.
of him remained, fragmented impulses on autoplay. Violent, bloodthirsty darkness in the driver's seat. Emerging from the lake, the thing was captured by the FBC. Brought in, contained, studied.
This is the specimen in the investigation sector.
Killed everyone it could. The FBC fell back and sealed the sector. The thing was alone in the dark, lurking, roaming, waiting. Then something else came. Not darkness, but similar enough. A sound. A resonance. It shouldn't be a surprise. If there's one, why not another? The darkness inside the thing could have been immune, could have resisted, fought, could have been passed by, passed through with no effect. But it didn't, and it wasn't. Maybe it had grown weaker over time, not aged. It was timeless, but weaker with no link to its source. A metamorphosis followed. The thing that had been Hartman went through another change.
It's definitely not supposed to be playing that fast, because it was just a period of black screen for ages. Okay, so Hartman's final act. So if we're reading that, listening to that correctly, the specimen, the thing that was taken to the containment sector, is Hartman, like the thing that is not Hartman. Oh god, it's so fast. Why?
Dr. Emil Hartman was desperate. The Federal Bureau of Control had stolen his life's work. This was his last chance, his final experiment. What he'd been too scared to do before.
I just want to see this again.
Hartman dove into the lake, was taken, devoured by hungry darkness.
Yeah.
Became the thing that had been Hartman.
The thing that had been Hartman. So, the thing that had been Hartman is in the investigations sector. Okay.
Thing that had been Hartman broke loose, killed everyone it could, lurking, roaming, waiting. Then something else came, a resonance. The thing that had been Hartman went through another change.
Oh, dude. Ooh, it just disappeared. The note, there was a note under the door, and then it just disappeared. That would have been the page. I guess that might have been the hotline, technically. Like the page that he'd wrote. Alright, we're going into the triangle door still. So we're not going through... We're not going through spiral door. Okay. Let's continue exploring the investigation sector. I see you over there. Spicy astral meatballs. I think this door's broken, so we have to go down this way. Okay. That door's broken. I'm assuming we're just going down to this one here. Ooh. Yep. But look at this. Oh no. Oh fuck. Man's got squished. Crazy. Would not want to be that guy.
Creepy, damp, and abandoned. Why did Wake want me to come here?
Yep. Okay. Stuff is literally disappearing right in front of us. Alan Wake is too powerful. He must be stopped. Ugh. Tremors. Bro, what the fuck?
That doesn't look like a house shift.
This is so fucking cool, man. It's trippy as hell.
All the objects started duplicating and then disappearing, entering and leaving reality simultaneously, all at once. It had to be the darkness. There was no other explanation. Jessie cleansed another control point, wondering, would she ever truly have control? Or is it the darkness that controls her, that controls me, that controls the typewriter, that controls everything? Jessie was, after all, a copy of a copy of a copy of a copy. Orange peel. Let's go! Alan Wake observed Jessie's abilities in combat and said, "Wow, I'm so jealous. All I had in my game was a flashlight and a pistol."
Of course, the hiss are already in here.
Alan Wake wondered why he couldn't levitate, throw shit around, and just in general be a badass. He was just a guy, going crazy with a flashlight. Alan Wake would make sure that he would give himself new powers in the sequel, so the gameplay would be more engaging.
Yeah, there's something behind there. Let me in. Nope. This is a thing that happens, right? Yeah. Surely, right? Can I destroy this wall? No? Yes, I can. Thank you. We only discovered one of these in my original playthrough of Control. Like the whole paintings that have hidden locations. The only way that that was given away because I saw that there was a fucking box. I love that they took the whole, like, you know, a world beyond the painting thing on the wall, like literally for that type of thing. Holy shit! All right, investigation sector is quite large. It's quite substantial. Where are we going?
This darkness is blocking the door.
Aim a powerful light source at the darkness to destroy it.
Dimensional noise and sentient shadows.
Oh, dude. Yes. Oh, it has the same effect as well.
Light burns it away, huh?
Wow.
Makes sense.
They brought it back. They brought it back, dude. Madman's actually did it.
Jesse Faden picked up the light and pointed it at the darkness. How do you like that slow gameplay now? No matter what, Alan Wake's gameplay always finds a way to return.
I'm stuck. I can't climb up. There we go. Oh, and we've got mold to deal with as well. Let's just fucking do every single substance in the game together. Which way does this go? That goes up to where we want to go. Oh. The light does not last for long. Ooh, okay, Hartman. Fucking orange peel, let's go. I'll show you an orange peel in a second. Give me a sec. Let's go in here. Because I can withstand this shit. Give me that. That mold really just ain't going away, is it? Like, fucking hell. I'm done with you, mold. Did we get it all? Did we get it all? I think so. I don't know what the point of doing it is, but we did it nonetheless. Okay. I think there was something that I wanted to check down here, because it looks like that's the way to go, so give me a second. I don't think I went... Ah, it's blocked. Ah, but there is a thing. Nice. Naturally, blocked pathway, because what else do you want in a game like this but blocked pathways? Okay. Alright, Hartman talking about the orange peel. Where are you, buddy? Operations corridor. Another control point for me. And they have one ability point. Astral constructs, weapon form. Oh. Construct Surge, a new weapon type. Surge fires adhesive munitions that detonate when manually triggered or if their timer expires. We got a new gun. New gun just dropped. We just need one more confiscated motive to do so. Cool. New weapon form. That was, yeah, I didn't expect to get new weapons, but it makes sense. Okay. Oh, this is the... Interesting that cleansing the control point didn't open up this little shortcut. Quick, talk to the plant, Jesse. Artie would be proud. I wonder if we're going to have anything, because we've only had Artie, like, name-dropped or mentioned so far. I wonder if, like, we're going to get any more from him, or whether he would just remain the mystery that he is, you know? The Arp Center.
The third thing. The sound made dark. The resonance carves its way through the thing that had been Hartman, vibrating, remolding. The sound changes the darkness, and the darkness changes the sound. They both changed what remained of Hartman. They all turned into something else. A third thing. The sound made darker. The darkness made louder. Hartman was stretched. Stretched as anyone when seen from out of time, like a worm through time. Almost an Ouroboros, a spiral, a maelstrom. The gravity well of a black hole, twisting inward, tightening, taking you deeper and deeper to the bottom, the heart, and through to the other side. The third thing said, when you hear this, you will know you're a new you. He said, we build you till nothing remains. He said, under the conceptual reality, behind this reality, you must want these waves to drag you away. He said, baby, 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 yeah, orange peel. The third thing was a monster. He'd tear apart any ordinary person crossing his path. Now he crashed out of darkness toward Faden. There was nothing ordinary about Faden.
I love that line. There's nothing ordinary about Faden from the town of Ordinary, you know? We've actually, hang on, we've got some correspondence and records that I hadn't read yet. Foot gossip. Hello, my feet gossip at night, now I have to wear shoes to bed. Sincerely, me. And this is why we read notes, guys. Dead letters are my favorite in out of the whole game for sure. Hartman arrest, official arrest report for Emil Hartman. Victims' names, Wake, Allen, Anderson Tor, Anderson Odin, Blank, Lane Rudolph, DeSaul Wendy, Emerson Thomas, and Blank. Officers' names: Special Agent Remy Dennis. Kidnapping of altered individuals. Sanctions against altered organizations. Obstruction of Bureau investigation. Breaching the Ash Act. Offenders' property seized as evidence to be used in conjunction with an ongoing AWE investigation. Offenders' personal effects have been sent to research for analysis. After being cleared by Bureau researchers, all victims have been released. Biannual surveillance orders were assigned to each, except the Anderson brothers, due to their senility. How do you spell? Because it's senile. Senility? I've never seen that word before. Because it's not senility. I would say it would just senility. What a strange word. And Wake, possibly deceased. Wake is reaching out to us through the hotline, but that is definitely not because he's dead. That's because he transcends fucking reality, this guy.
Darkness made louder.
He's fucking...
Hartman was stretched like a worm through time.
He's playing fucking darkness chess, man.
Now we crashed out of darkness toward Faden.
Great. Alright, I need a light to burn that darkness away, and I need a power source. Spooky! I love it. Just the noises in the distance sounds good. Going for a bit of a spoopy element here, game. I see what's going on. Oh, music! Oh, Artie's giving us fucking janitor orders still.
Lads, it's in here. Darkness everywhere.
Ah.
New day, same old bloody.
Hold on. Oh, there's no checkpoints, dude.
The old way. Like tar, but good for nothing.
I shouldn't have picked all three of those up so quickly because they had dialogue for each. Ah, that's annoying. I think the game already saved. Damn it.
Get rid of it.
Okay. Dude. We have missions. Another fine mess. Shining light on the plants instead of talking to them, eradicating the mold, and eliminating the darkness. Be cool if you could track multiple missions at one time, but that's okay. As soon as I heard that music, I'm like, are you shitting me, dude? I literally was just being like, I wonder if Artie's gonna pop up. He's just like, what if I give you some jobs instead? Is that okay? Just gives us jobs to do. Fuck's sake. We actually did never go back to, after the vacation, checking if there were, if there was any more jobs on the main board in the janitor's office. So we potentially have some unfinished business in there as well. Multimedia. Motel observation.
Agent Fisher, day 6 inside the motel. Utilized surveillance methods are as follows. Fiber optic cameras slid under the individual room doors. Motion detectors in the lobby area. Tripwire, triggering a flash camera across the main entrance. Even fingerprint powder on the front desk. Results are varying at best. But mostly just inconclusive and unusable. The footage is corrupted. Sometimes even the equipment is damaged. I don't know how, exactly. I think this place is making fun of me. That's the only explanation. I can hear them laughing and screaming behind the closed doors. I can hear the call bell go and ding multiple times a day, but when I look, there's no one there. I know I'm supposed to stay out of sight, but I've seen the doors closing just before I can catch even a glimpse of anyone or anything. They're messing with me, whoever they are. I think... Wait, shh. There's something. I gotta get this. Gotta get the cable out. Come on, you fiber optic fuck, cooperate. Okay, there we go. All right, that was faint, but I definitely heard movement coming from the hallway. I think I might have finally caught one. Ha! The recording better work this time, or I swear to God I'll... What? Hello? Who's there? Oh, shit. I'm with the FBC. Move away from the door. I have a... Where's my...
Ooh. Ooh, spooky. Interrogation complaint. Kirkland, so you put me on desk duty just because I did the thing I was fucking hired to do? My job? Want to know what I call that? Bullshit. Asking us to interrogate these scum without using words like altered items or AWEs or paracriminal is the stupidest thing I've heard in my life, and I've heard some fucking stupid things. They already know the facts. Hell, they know just as much as us, if not more, and they get to sit there laughing at us while we dance around our words, trying not to leak classified terminology. They already know the fucking terminology. If you think pulling me off the case will stop me, then think again. That piece of shit blew up those tracks. He killed those people, all to make a train turn altered. We have him dead to rights, and you need to let me back in that interrogation cell so I can get him to flip on his buddies. These people are terrorists and deserve to be treated as such. This won't stop unless we stop them. You can go ahead and put me on suspension, see if that slows me down. Okay. Black Market and NASA Cooperation Review. Illegal altered item market, a black market hub specializing in the trade of occult talismans, relics, and other assorted ceremonial objects, as well genuine altered and paranatural materials, was raided in blank Czech Republic by a team of special investigators. Unsuccessful attempts by suspects to escape using altered items resulted in numerous casualties and prevented the Bureau from questioning all participants. The following interrogations revealed that not only is there a vast network of these retailers, but they seem to be gathering information on altered items from other paranatural materials from sources unknown to the Bureau. The Bureau's concern here is threefold. There is a growing underground market for paranatural materials, which implies a growing awareness of their existence among a niche group of the general public. These criminal individuals do not seem aware of the item's paranatural powers, and their attempts to activate them could prove devastating if done in populated areas, and the motivations of these collectors are largely unknown. Okay, interagency cooperation decision from NASA. Following the NASA/FBC Coordination Agreement of 1972, the Bureau has provided NASA with numerous technological advancements based on our research, including the black rock lining now found in all spacefaring vessels. In return, all data gathered during space missions is now available for Bureau researchers to analyze. Recently, certain individuals have raised their concern that this relationship does not adequately benefit the Bureau, either intellectually or financially. A thorough examination of the costs accrued by both organizations has shown that the expense of NASA's recent launch of the blank far outweighs any spending related to the processing and delivery of Blackrock. From its medium Earth orbit, the blank will provide the Bureau with an unparalleled resource for remotely monitoring and photographing AWE sites, a resource that would be lost if the partnership ends. It is the opinion of this committee that maintaining a cooperative relationship with our colleagues at NASA is of vital importance. That's cool. That's cool. Alright, so we need a light source. Can I pull these lamps off the fucking desk? Give me a light source. I want a lamp. I need a lamp, please. I need to burn some darkness away. These are lights, but they just ain't working. How do we make these lights work? I need a power cell as well.
Glimpse of anyone or anything.
Oh, there's our power cell. Come here. Don't get stuck. Oh, nice.
My understanding of the darkness is fractal.
We'll listen to that in a sec, but we picked up the Shadow, so it took us to that. Paranatural Entity A-010, aka the Shadow, is an aggressive blank consisting of 3 known types. Type A, localized manifestations of sentient blank capable of occupying organic and inorganic material as well as exerting blank over its surroundings. Shaded individuals, human bodies, blank by the shadow. These individuals become notably more aggressive but do seem to retain blank of their previous selves. Research is ongoing as to whether this condition is reversible. And shaded objects. Similar to Type B, except that inanimate objects are blank solely to be used as destructive tools. Each type seems to work towards a shared goal, possibly targeting certain individuals, which may imply a shared link to a blank intelligence. The threat this entity poses warrants immediate exploration of offensive/defensive measures. The investigation sector is being outfitted with additional lighting sources, some internally powered, to prepare for the eventuality of a blank. Love that they're like bringing in like the shadow and the darkness from Alan Wake and talking about how it works and stuff. So cool. Eagle Limited Summary, another Altered World event. A train derailment resulting in 62 casualties and numerous injuries was suspected to have been the work of a paracriminal group known as Blank. So we were just reading about the letter about this. As a result of this event, the agents discovered that one of the cars had become altered with a persistent auditory event. It remains to be determined whether the AWE was spontaneous or the direct result of the sabotage. The Bureau had been tracking said group at the time, and the intel gathered suggested an event of this caliber was imminent in Bloomington. As a result, a response team on site was able to respond to the train accident site within minutes of its occurrence. They arrived to find emergency processes underway, but also equipment left behind by the suspected group. A suspicious onlooker managed to elude agents after they attempted to make contact. Further investigation of the accident site revealed a curiously undamaged train car that exhibited an altered state when entered. This individual car was secured and transported to the investigation sector for further studies. And then we've got our multimedia that we're just listening to now. Dr. Hartman's notes on the darkness.
My understanding of the darkness is fragmented, incomplete. This abyss, this void, it very much does not wish to be understood. If light symbolizes knowledge, then it stands to reason that darkness would equate to ignorance. By its very nature, it abhors comprehension. Of course, my own nature drives me to comprehend all. We are opposing forces, destined to collide. And given this conflict of natures, we know that the light of truth will burn away the darkness, both figuratively and literally. Any significant light source can be used as protection, even weaponry against this metaphysical gloom. And then there are the artists. I know for a fact that Tom, Wake, the Anderson brothers, and Lane all had some involvement with the darkness. The question is whether their uncanny ability to affect reality through their art beckons the darkness, or did their work perhaps even create it? With Wake now secure in my lodge, I expect I shall grow closer to learning the answers to these questions. Assuming he cooperates, which is proving quite the challenge. Well, perseverance is the foundation of knowledge. Speaking of, I must be off on my rounds.
So that was the part of the game where we woke up and he was like, "Oh, you're a patient with me and you've been here for a while, mate." And he's like, "What are you talking about?"
Understood. If light symbolizes knowledge, then it stands to reason that darkness would equate to ignorance.
Ooh, we've got enemies.
Nature, it abhors
Jesus, these guys are fucked. Okay, we have levitating enemies with guns. I don't like that a bit. You know how I was stating that my least favorite enemies are just like the levitating dudes? It's now the levitating dudes with guns. They have just become significantly more dangerous than the standard levitating types. God damn it. They even just dodge my bullets, man. Hiss Ranger, airborne. Love that. Thank you so much. We got a confiscated motive. I think that was what I needed, right? Was that what I needed? FBC reminder.
All employees are required to report their hours at the end of each month. The Federal Bureau of Control maintains that time is not subjective, and hours passed on alternative planes cannot be claimed. Astral dives do not accumulate overtime compensation. Thank you for your attention.
When you've accidentally time traveled like 20 years into the future, you do not get overtime. Alright, I just want to head back to the control point because we, I think, can make this. Yes, we can now construct Surge with confiscated motive. Bam. New gun unlocked. And then unlocking it costs even more. Let's take a look. I'm gonna take Shatter off for a sec so we can put on Surge. There's not much that we can put on here. Damage while low on health. Yeah, well, I guess it's kind of the best thing. We got Blast Radius. I might go for Blast Radius instead because we'll try and not be at low health, you know? We'll see how that works. Source gain to take melee damage. No, thank you. Okay. Okay. Fire a single adhesive grenade, and then RT to detonate that grenade. Cool. Place multiple grenades to fire while aiming, and blow them all up. Good stuff. Literally like sticky grenades. I like it. We'll test it out. See how we like it. So you can shoot all three at once if you so desire to do so. I like it a lot. I'm a big fan. Alright, lights are turned on. I'm gonna check out this room. Okay. Okay, so we've got eradicating the mold in those locations, so we'll eventually get to those because they're not around. Shining lights on the plants is actually around this place. So we can do 2 of those and then eliminate the darkness are in 3 other places. Okay, so we'll do those when we get to it. At least you can complete missions when you don't have it like unlocked, so that's fine. Like selected as the main mission, I mean. Alright, so we have to shine light on the plants, which I think are these. This would be one of those. I need a light source though. Like, we've got lights, but they don't work? Where are those lamps at? Why aren't they just chilling? You know what I mean? How do we make light happen? There's one. Why would you pick that up? I'm looking at this. This game, sometimes, honestly. Alright. This one? Shine light on plant.
There you go.
Yay!
Doesn't that feel better?
And then there was another one here. When I made the joke about fucking talking to the plant, it was an actual, it's an actual fucking part of the game. I just need to shine a light on it. It's hilarious. I love how things work out. Okay, there's another one. Okay, now we need to go to the abandoned offices, which is back down this way. So does this light is going to break over time, right? Or was that just because we went through a certain area? I hope it doesn't break. Just quickly dashing back here. Whee. To the abandoned offices. Okay. Looking for plants. Are there any sad plants around? That doesn't really count. That's like a garden bed. Any sad Sad plants. There's one. Gotcha. Healed. You are cured. It's a control point. Oh, that's that shit. Yep, that's the creepy stuff. It's just dimension shifting. It ain't no biggie. Okay, the lights don't break. That's good to know. It was just maybe like the light breaking was like scripted at that one particular point, I guess. You know what? Maybe I will try pointing it at this garden bed after all. Maybe it'll actually do something. There isn't one in here, is there? Oh, get back here. I'm gonna point it at this garden bed. Who knows? That is a no. That is a no on the garden bed. Damn it, I found one. Where are these plants hiding? The abandoned offices. The abandoned offices is a small area too. Just a girl looking to light her plants up. Oh, that wall repaired itself as well. There better not be any plants in there. Honestly, it does like feel like the garden bed should be one when you walk around this much being like, where the fuck are the plants at? Do I have to look up onto the roof? Can't believe we only found one. Like, are you sure? These are plants, technically. They fall under that barrier. They don't react. Okay. I might have to just come back later. It's alright. It's not like the most important thing in the world. It's just helping out Artie. Which is important. There you go. We'll come back for the lights. I mean, that's Trench. I wonder if that's Northmore, then. Is that them constructing, like, the reactor, potentially? That they end up putting Northmore in? I don't know if that's Northmore or not. But it could potentially be. That's another photo of Trench. They really were just like, yeah, let's just put the same one on each side. Same photo on each side. Ooh.
I don't feel right. Something in this darkness is draining me.
Jesse Faden entered the room. The darkness is draining her energy. But if she's in the light, she's fine. Alan Wake, the game. In control. Alright, I need a power source to chuck into that thing. So, I'm going to go and get one. Because I'm pretty sure I can just whip out the one from up here. Because it doesn't need to be in there anymore. Oh no, hang on. That'll turn off the... That'll turn off the power, won't it? Oh, you can't take it out once it's in there. So, never mind. No power source. Which means, I guess we'll just use the elevator and maybe we'll bring a power source up. How about that? Where can we go from here?
Shit. Now what?
Hartman was stretched.
What is that?
Development
my ugly darkness.
Come on, elevator, time to go! Fuck! Nothing even tougher.
You don't like the light. I can use that.
You see what that fucking thing looks like, dude? You see what that fucking thing looks like? That's fucked. Like, what the fuck? He's just moving all over the place. What was the power source? Dude. Oh, that's not a spot for me to throw it. I will get... No. Ugh. Oh, there it is. Ooh! Jesus. Up, please. Jesse. Up. Without getting fucking smacked by this guy, 'cause I'm almost dead. I don't know if I can even damage it by conventional means. I need to get more lights on. There's got to be a light over this way somewhere, but I can't see where. Oh, there we go. Just this. There we go.
Yeah, how do you like that?
Okay. That was fucked. He looks insane. Hartman got a fucking upgrade, didn't he?
Okay, this room is really intimidating and all.
Langston interrogation. Okay. We've got a bunch of documents in here, so I'm just gonna gather what we can, then we'll go through it. Holy shit, though. Night Spring screenplay, page 1. God, it was like legitimately horrifying to look at. Hartman's been changed into some fucking thing. Barely even made it out of there alive. Just looking for all of the notes and documents that we can.
Arcade machines. Shoom.
Shoom.
Shim. Shoo. Wom. Whatever.
Shum and Shum 2. What the fuck? Play Shum. Alright, let's go. Crowd control. Deadline. Oh, the goal of crowd control is to survive. Good luck. Oh, this is fun. Survive against a horde of hiss. Great, and I've got no health. It didn't give me my health back. Can't wait to power up this gun a bit more. I like it. Ugh! How big is this horde of hiss that we're facing though, really? You know? What are we dealing with here? Dude, really, really liking the projectile grenade launcher. Sticky grenades is great. Oh. The death effects though. That's cool. I wonder if we'll be able to unlock anything cool from like actually winning and completing that, whether it's just you just have to survive as long as you can. That's cool. And then I guess maybe if you win, you can play Shum 2, the Shumaning. That's pretty sweet. I think with that one though, guys, we're going to bring this episode of Control to a close. We have encountered the thing that is not Hartman, but is also Hartman, and had a amazing start to the second DLC. It hits so much stronger. The Alan Wake connections are really, really cool. Super happy with how this one has started, and I can't wait to continue. So we'll continue with a dark place in the investigations sector next time, guys. So thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys have enjoyed the first episode of the AWE DLC for Alan Wake, and I will see you next time.